Good day, boxing fans. Saturday night in Wembley Stadium, that is sure to be packed and roaring and rocking. We've got the best thing in boxing, which is an undisputed World Heavyweight Championship. Daniel Dubois brings his IBF belt to the table when he fights unified champion, former undisputed champion. Boxing politics didn't keep him undisputed for long, but Dubois did what was put in front of him to take advantage of that situation and get that IBF belt. And now we have a rematch between these two big men. Will it be revenge or repeat? Last time out, Usyk stopped Dubois. This time out, can Dubois reverse it and become a British undisputed world heavyweight champion? Well, stick around and let's break down the fight. Nobody has yet been able to beat Oleksandr Usyk. He's beaten Anthony Joshua twice, he's beaten Tyson Fury twice, and he's beaten Daniel Dubois. Can Daniel Dubois beat him second time around? Now, Oleksandr Usyk is 6'4", he's a decent height. I think that's what his height is more or less, or it's 6'3". But he's a small man for a heavyweight. The guys that he's fighting are stronger, bigger, but he is a really special boxer. That's why he's on most people's pound for pound list in the number one position. He is extremely hard to fight. He's very shifty, lots of feints, lots of great footwork, in and out, side to side. He's hitting you from one angle, then he's here and he's hitting you from the side. It is like dealing with attack of a hornet. He's a real will-o-wisp all around you, in and out all the time. He's something unique as a heavyweight. He's to me, with that movement and that herky-jerky rhythm, he's almost Michael Spinks, like, another a smaller guy managed to win the heavyweight title against Larry Holmes in a big upset. But can Dubois do something different this time? Last time, there was some controversy, which I think was kind of manufactured by Frank Warren. He took a blow downstairs from Dubois, which was ruled a low blow, and Usyk milked it to the max, took minutes there to recover, and then got back into the fight. And from then on, it was gradually downhill from Dubois. I don't think there was anything controversial about it. That punch of Dubois, the full fist, if you look at the replay, was not halfway on the waistband. It was right underneath the waistband, on the waistband, not half like there. So yes, it wasn't a blow straight in the genitals, but it was definitely a low blow. Usyk didn't have his waistband on exceptionally high or anything, where the referee will tell you that the waist is here, not necessarily on the trunks. It wasn't that. The blow was below, was solidly on that waistband, not halfway. So it was a low blow, and he recovered from that, and then he systematically took Daniel Dubois apart. Now, eventually stopping him. Now, I think in that fight, there are some things that can give Daniel Dubois hope, and we've always said this about Usyk. He doesn't like it in the body. He didn't like it when Fury goes to the body. He didn't like it when Dubois goes to the body. So the body remains key for Daniel Dubois, because he's not going to hit Oleksandr Usyk with more than one shot, if that, to the head. So he's got to go to the body, and he's got to make sure that he's accurate with those punches, that he doesn't get a call for a low blow again. He's got to go to that body, maybe with hooks around, and the uppercuts, just keep it a little bit higher. And when you jab Usyk, forget about jabbing the head. You're going to battle doing it. Just jab him here by the chest. I don't know why more fighters don't do that. Even if it doesn't look so spectacular, even if the judges don't count it, it makes the opponent uncomfortable. So jab him to the body, jab him to the chest. Concentrate on hitting the power shots to that body, and don't go low with those blows. That's what I would do if I am Daniel Dubois. And another thing is, Dubois was made tentative by Usyk. Usyk gained the mental ascendancy. He was able to move Dubois back. Now, I think Dubois has made one heck of a comeback since then. Remember, preceding the first Usyk fight, he was down 3 times in the first round against Kevin Lerena, before, blasting the smaller arena out. He couldn't do that with Usyk, different kettle of fish. But I think that weighed on his mind. He had knee surgery. So I think a lot of mental things was weighing on Daniel Dubois' mind. And I think, more than else, Usyk broke him down mentally. Nothing that Dubois could do except those body shots was sustainable, and he started chipping away at him. And when Dubois ended up on the canvas, he had that resigned look, like he doesn't know what he's doing here, he wants to get out of here. And then a lot of people wrote him off, said he had no heart. He came back very well against Gerald Miller, who's admittedly a big block of a man that stands in front of you. It's not hard to hit him, but he keeps coming at you. And then he beat Filip Hrgović. Looked impressive there, got the IBF interim title and was elevated to full status once Usyk went to fight Fury again. But he got the fight against Anthony Joshua, and he took Joshua out before Joshua could take him out. Now, if I look at Daniel Dubois technically, not much different. He still eats right hands like sweets, which I don't like, And even in the Joshua fight, right before he knocked out Joshua finally let fly over right hand on Dubois. Dubois wobbled like that, and then he took Joshua out. So he made boldness his friend against Anthony Joshua, and you went after him. And I think even though it's a lot harder to hit Usyk than hit Anthony Joshua, he's got to do the same thing here. He cannot outbox Oleksandr Usyk. Oleksandr Usyk is a pound-for-pound level master boxer. He's a better boxer than Daniel Dubois or anybody else in that division. So he cannot go and win a technical fight against Oleksandr Usyk. He's got to go for broke. And what I like about this version of Daniel Dubois, I see a new confidence in him, and I see stamina, much improved stamina. He stopped Miller late. He went rounds before he stopped Filip Hrgović. And the Joshua fight didn't go that far, but he didn't seem to gas, which he seemed to do there against Usyk. And you do gas when you miss a lot of punches. Now guys, tell me in the comments, do you think it's revenge or repeat? Is Usyk just too good for Daniel Dubois, or is Daniel Dubois going to do it this time around and make Britain smile? Now, the favorite I'm sure will be Oleksandr Usyk. But I think it's a different version of Daniel Dubois. Not technically different, but stamina-wise different, and also mentally. I think it's Daniel Dubois is enjoying ascendancy that's more confident. And this time around, he's got to fight differently. Go for that body. That part he did right. As I've said, don't hit low. Jab Usyk to the chest and make him go back. And we must also remember this is now in Wembley. This is not neutral ground like Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. This is in Wembley. Now, if Daniel Dubois can stay off the canvas, and if he can make things close with that crowd behind him, there's a very good chance he's going to get the decision if it's a 1-2 pointer. Like many of Usyk's fights, or some of Usyk's fights were heavyweight. And I think to fight Oleksandr Usyk, just do not overthink things and have that sustained pressure as a way to go. Look at Derek Chisora. He had some success against Oleksandr Usyk. Okay, Usyk was still raw as a heavyweight, but Chisora had, to me, more. I can almost say he had more success than Joshua or Fury, or he had at least as much success as, almost as much success as Fury and Joshua had in the rematches. I think both those rematches were closer fights. And, so I think against Usyk, you mustn't overthink it. You mustn't let him get in your mind, because sometimes he kids you out of it. That's something people used to say about a heavyweight we had here in South Africa, Francois Botha, the White Buffalo. He also used a lot of feints or so. By no means I'm saying he's on the level of a Usyk, but he used to do that, especially late in his career. He makes you think that he's gonna come with something big that never comes, and then he just jabs you, And Usyk, for his part, he just sticks you with a southpaw left, and you don't expect that coming. But he sort of keeps you, he gives you paralysis of analysis, for want of a better expression. So Dubois got to not think too much here. He's got to just go for it. He's got to throw punches, and he's got to hope that he can use Usyk in the body. And I'm going to be in a minority here, but I'm going to stick out my head. I think Daniel Dubois has got the confidence. He's got the improved stamina, and I think he's going to be a ding-dong fight. But I think he's He's going to tire down Oleksandr Usyk. You know, fighting guys like Joshua twice, guys like Fury twice, really big guys. It takes its toll on somebody, you know, who's a smaller man. It takes its toll on your body. So I'm going to stick my neck out, and I might have massive egg on my face after Saturday night. And I think Daniel Dubois is going to pull it off in Wembley Stadium. And I think he's going to win a hard-fought decision, or perhaps a stoppage even in the later rounds. But I'm gonna go for Daniel Dubois by a close decision over Oleksandr Usyk and become the undisputed heavyweight champion against all odds and continue that massive comeback if he makes boldness his friend on the night. That is what I think, guys. So that's it from me. As always, please remember to subscribe. Thank you for all of you who did, and remember to keep those hands up.